Hey guys, today I'll be doing a Beyblade Tournament Analysis of the Blading in Queens tournament hosted by myself in Queens, New York last Sunday. So this was a pretty good event. It was actually part of what I'm going to call a community gathering or a block party. So someone was having this gathering in New York and they wanted me to come up there and host a Beyblade tournament as part of that event. So I did get the opportunity to go up there and host this event. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the analysis. So the top four for this event were the first, second, third, and fifth seeds. And the first matchup is between the first and the fifth seeds. So the number one seed was Quiqui or Quiqui, I believe it's Quiqui 23. He was the number one seed, and the combos he was using Roar Bahamut with Giga Drift and Armor 10, Cyclone Ragnaruk with Armor 2, Tapered, and Zone Dash plus Z, and Tempest with that Metal Chip Core 1S and Ignition Dash. And BDM was the fifth seed. He was using Vanish Fafnir with Armor 2, Giga Never, Rage Spriggan 3A, Destroy Dash, and Dynamite with the F Gear and Armor 10, Ragnaruk, Tapered, and Xtend plus. So something to point out is this was BDM's first tournament ever, and there were some pretty good bladers in New York, so he did really good in his first tournament to make it to the top 8. And he actually took third place, which is actually my very first ever tournament. I too took third place, so yeah, he's a pretty good Beyblader. So yeah, the first matchup is between Dynamite and Roar Bahamut Giga Drift. So this is an opposite spin matchup for the drift combo, so the favor is with the drift combo. Now that said, I have seen and tied with opposite spin drift combos using Xtend Plus. So if you're using Xtend Plus, depending on how worn it is and the mode that you choose, you can tie against it. And specifically when it comes up to these opposite spin drift combos, you really want to be launching hard to try to get them to spin out of control and ride that outside ring with the possibility of self-KOing. Now, depending on the drift launcher or the person launching the drift combo, that may or may not be doable. So Quiqui gets the point there, and BDM asks for the replay as I believe he felt that was fairly close, and yeah, it was definitely really close. However, in this next matchup, Drift gets the win, and it's not as close as it previously was. So what I was doing there was kind of re-explaining the how replay and switch works. As again, this was BDM's first tournament, and the way that works is if you lose and you call for a replay, then the same matchup happens again. Of course, the winner maintains that point. Now, if you say switch, the winner is given the opportunity to switch first. And if they switch their combo, they have to show it to you, and then the loser is given the opportunity to either switch or keep their same combo. So that is just what I was kind of explaining to him right there. So again, the Dynamite combo is going to lose this matchup. Now I do think he is in stamina mode, and really the way I play it, since my drift is kind of worn, I usually go to defense mode, and depending on how they're launching, I may go to attack mode. So BDM chooses switch. Of course, Quiqui chooses to stay with his Roar combo, and BDM chooses to go with his Vanish combo, so the Vanish Fafnir with Armor 2, Giga, and Never. Now, I've seen this Vanish combo quite a bit, and a lot of players are trying to beat the Roar Bahamut Drift combo same spin. However, I don't think the Vanish is the combo you want to use. It's the same spin, and there's a lot of rubber on it. And Roar is actually pretty decent at attacking, so it will make some really good contact with that Vanish combo. And when it does, you're just losing stamina. One, you have a lot of rubber, and two, if you're getting pushed back, you're losing even more stamina. So you'll see here, Roar is going to have so much more spin left over than this Vanish combo, even with it on Never, which is a pretty decent same spin driver. So yeah, you see Roar just has so much more stamina. So BDM, he asks for the switch. Of course, Quiqui decides to stay, and BDM chooses to go with his Dynamite combo again. So what do I think is the best switch in for BDM against this Roar Drift combo? I'm gonna say Vanish Fafnir is not a good switch in. He shouldn't switch into that again. If he knew how to switch the Xtend Plus, I would say that was a good switch in. Actually, no, it's on Tapered, so I'd say the best he can do is probably draw with it. I mean, he could get lucky on that Tapered and spin a little bit more, but that's really not likely. And then also the Rage combo, it's interesting. Rage versus Roar Bahamut is a very interesting matchup. So that was actually a draw, so they had to replay this. And yeah, so back to the Rage combo. Roar is really good at absorbing the impact from the collision with Rage. Now, if you launch it the right way, the right way being if you launch Rage the right way, you can knock Roar back a lot, but honestly, all the matchups I've seen with Roar versus Rage combos, Roar is always saved by the wall. It's ridiculous. You'll see it in this matchup. The tournament just this Sunday that just passed, Arca, his Roar was saved by the wall so many times. So I don't know if Roar combos are just magnets to the wall, but that just seems to always be the case. So yeah, you see there, Bahamut definitely won that, no question about it. So BDM, he asks for the switch and he chooses to go with his Rage combo. Now, one thing that you'll notice that BDM is doing is he is launching his Rage combo straight down when he should probably be angling it. And yeah, there was a relaunch there as Quiqui did hit the stadium when he launched. He knocked the stadium toward the camera. And I called the relaunch once they launched prior to the Rage going out of bounds. So yeah, one thing that Quiqui did good is he angled it super well, which is what I do when I go against Rage combos. Sometimes if I'm using my Tempest or when I was using my World combo, is I would tilt them super hard so that the Rage combo is hitting up against the chip, so the impact is going down in a way instead of just straight back. So yeah, Quiqui gets the win there and he will move on to the finals. And this next matchup is froztz versus Hector. So froztz was the 2nd seed, Hector was the 3rd seed, and the combos they were using, Hector was using World Spriggan to be Drift, Dynamite with F gear, Belial with Armor 3, Tapered, and Zone Dash plus Z, and Rage Helios with the 3A and Quick Dash. And froztz was using, he was using Tempest Solomon 1S Will with Xtend plus the Metal Chip Core, Roar Bahamut Giga Drift Armor 2, and World Spriggan 2B Orbit Metal. And yeah, it is Armor 2 here. So later in the video, I did make a mistake and put Armor 10, but it was actually Armor 2. So yeah, this first matchup is World versus Roar. So I don't like using, I don't want to say I don't like using the Roar Drift combo, but I try not to use it. But at this tournament, it seemed like everyone was just using this combo. There were players using this combo that, in my opinion, had no business using it, as they didn't know how to control it. So every time they launched, they were flat launching, and they were launching super hard. So Drift was just spinning out of control and self-KOing. And they were trying to figure out how the few players who did know how to use the combo were getting it to stay stationary. So yeah, again, the Roar Drift combo is definitely a combo you should practice using before just putting it together and going to a tournament with it, just because you see it on the top list a lot. Now, it doesn't take a lot of practice. All you have to do really is just angle it and pull the launcher, and it will stay tilted depending on your drift driver. So yeah, this first matchup is World versus Roar. And it is opposite spin matchup, so Frost gets the first point there. Royal kind of hit Roar in the back and went into the pocket. So of course Hector asked for the replay, as he might have felt that was a pretty cheap point. So yeah, this one is a double KO, I believe is what the ref called. Yeah, double kind of self KO. So with that, there was another replay called, and we did look at the replay. The judge looked at the replay and called it a double KO. So yeah, the same thing happened again to Hector, where his world kind of spent in the back and hit the Roar Bahamut combo and kind of KO'd itself. So Hector asked for the replay, and Frost decided to keep the Roar combo, as there's really no reason to switch if you're already winning. And looking at the combos that Hector has, Roar Bahamut has a fairly decent chance of beating all of these combos. Now there is a chance it can tie with the Zone-Z combo on Tapered, but it can win it. So this first matchup is a draw, I believe. Yeah, it's a draw in this one. So then a replay is declared, and Dynamite does actually end up winning this matchup. And yeah, this is a stamina matchup, so it's going to be a pretty long match. Yeah, with the Roar Bahamut Bahamut Giga Drift combo, some players just have a really good drift. Arca being one, Quiqui has a really good drift. Yeah, some players' drift is just better than other players' drift, so their version of this combo is just better. So yeah, Hector gets the point here. Frost asks for the switch, and Hector decides to stay with the Dynamite combo. So then Frost goes with his Tempest combo. And actually, something to point out here is the launcher rule. So Hector was asking if I was supposed to be using the other launcher with this Tempest combo. So the way it works, when you come up with your Beyblades and your launchers, you are allowed to bring one launcher per Beyblade. And the way that I've been doing this is, if someone comes up with 3 launchers, I specifically ask them which launcher is for which Beyblade. And if someone comes up with 2 launchers, then I ask them which launcher they're using on each Beyblade. Now, I've seen it judged sometimes where if they come up with 2 launchers, the judge will let them choose whichever one to use, and then once they use a launcher with a Beyblade, they have to stick to using that launcher. I like to ask what launcher they're using, so there is no question later on by any player of which launcher they were using, and then there's no question when it comes to any of the videos that are posted here on YouTube or anything like that. So what I was explaining to him is, I told the judge I was using this launcher for this combo. So yeah, this is same spin, Xtend plus versus Zone Dash plus Z, so the Xtend plus combo will win. So if I was Hector, the combo I probably would have chose in on that switch, it's a hard choice, as I'm sure he's seen the videos where my World 2B Orbit Metal has beaten World on Drift plenty of times, so that probably isn't a good choice. Now, the Rage 3-8 on Quick Dash, I'm sure he's seen my Tempest beat Rage combos a lot of times. That said, he still could have beaten it, so yeah, I don't know that Zone Dash plus Z same spin would have been the combo I would have picked. So he does ask for a rematch, and I'm not sure why he asked for a rematch here. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure why. I wouldn't have asked for a rematch in same spin. Xtend Plus versus Zone Dash Plus Z. But given his choices, honestly, if I was him, I would have just said switch. Waited to see what Frost was picking and then went from there. Because if Frost picked Tempest, just pick your world, or actually his world is same spin. Yeah, I think honestly his Rage is probably the best switch in here. And of course world against the Roar Bahamut combo, as long as you're light launching the world combo, that is. As he was launching his world combo fairly hard to try to compete with the hard launching of the Roar combo. So he does ask for a switch this time, and Frost decides to switch out to Roar Bahamut. There's no point in keeping the Tempest combo, and actually, you know what? I actually had forgot at this point that he was using a right spin world drift combo. So I honestly could have stayed with Tempest. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking he was using world in left spin while he was actually using it in right spin. So yeah, he kind of sniped there and got a good point there. Honestly, that was a good point. Something else I want to mention, because you'll see this a lot throughout this video, is players touching the stadium. Again, you're not supposed to touch the stadiums. I judge a lot, so I have a bad habit of touching the stadiums. And I know there are some other player judges that touch the stadiums. And the way I've been doing it at a lot of the events I host is, if a player touches the stadium, as long as the stadium is still in the way it should be, or if they're readjusting it the way it should be, I won't fix the stadium. Now, if the player touches the stadium and the opponent wants me to fix it, yeah, I will fix it. But if I feel that the stadium is in the right position, I won't touch it. I'm sure you see on a lot of my videos where players touch the stadiums, I go behind them and readjust it. I don't really give out any warnings for that, because I know it's a really bad habit for players who have also judged or who are judges at that tournament. So yeah, that's kind of how I do that. I do give a reminder like, hey, don't touch the stadium. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't do that all the time, but I will go back and readjust the stadium. So yeah, you shouldn't touch the stadium. But yeah, so I said switch, and he decided to stay with his Dynamite combo. So I went back to the Tempest combo. And the way he's launching his Dynamite on Zone Dash Plus Z is he's doing a tilted launch, and he's launching really hard to try to get that quick. What he does is he hits the Beyblade and makes it spin out to the outside, and then his combo will spin the opposite way and kind of hit them out. Or either right there, what he tried to do is take the center and make me spin out of control. So if you go back and watch this, you'll see he does that a few times in multiple matches with that Zone Dash Plus Z combo. So it is a really good move to do. Yeah, again, with the combos he has, yeah, I'm not sure what the best switch in against Tempest is. I honestly think Rage would be. But yeah, so Frost gets that point and is going on to the finals. So this matchup is between the 3rd and 5th seeds. So they're both using essentially the same combo. So Hector was using World Spriggan 2B Drift again, Dynamite Belial with that F gear, Armor 3 Tapered and Zone Dash plus a Z, and Rage Helios with 3A and Quick Dash. And BDM, he was using, I want to say Rage Longinus with 3A Destroy Dash, Vanish Fafnir Giga, Never with Armor 2, and I believe this time, instead of using Xtend Plus, he was using Dynamite Ragnaruk with that F gear, Tapered, Armor 10, and Drift. So this first matchup is Drift versus Rage. And yeah, let's see what happens here. So this is same spin, and yeah, you see he kind of self-KO'd. So World on Drift really can't do what the DB Beyblades can do on Drift if you hard launch it. It will eventually spin out of control if you don't make contact. So BDM got the point there, and Hector asked for the switch. BDM chose to stay with his rage, and so Hector decided to switch to his Dynamite. So yeah, this is a pretty good matchup. You see, Dynamite was saved by the wall a lot. That looked like a double KO to some. I know some were saying that was a double KO, but it was not. Rage definitely got KO'd first. So BDM asks for the switch, and Hector decides to go ahead and switch to his Rage combo. And with that, BDM chooses to switch to his Dynamite combo. And yeah, something else to mention here is the rules with your launcher choosing. So BDM, he was having troubles with his grip, and he wanted to grab another grip. However, by WBO rules, you have to come up with all the parts and accessories and show it to the judge before the match starts. Once the match starts, those are the parts and accessories you are using. Now, something else to mention with that is, if you notice Hector, he's using the same grip and sort of that I don't know what to call that trigger. And if you notice, he's switching it between on the different sides when he switches the mode of the launcher from, say, left to right. And even though he came up with the grip with the trigger on one way, the way I do it and the way I think that rule is intended to be is that if you have these dual type launchers, dual left and right launchers, and you switch it, it only makes sense that you would be able to switch the trigger, as the part that goes up against your thumb is now reversed if you switch the launcher. So yeah, Rage got some good hits here, but Dynamite does take this. So I do think a Rage combo can beat these Dynamite combos if you launch it the right way and you get some decent hits. But for this matchup, mainly Dynamite for both of these players were beating the other players' Rage combos. So yeah, Hector gets the point there, and BDM asks for the switch. Hector chooses to go with his World combo, and BDM chooses to stick with his Dynamite combo. So this here is opposite spin, drift versus drift. So yeah, this will be a lot of draws. And something else to mention, as this did come up at the tournament in Greensboro, North Carolina this Saturday, which I will be uploading Thursday. Some of these matchups, they're really, really close. And if you've judged enough of these matchups, you can tell when a Beyblade stops and when another Beyblade hits it and makes it spin again. Now, for this tournament here, all of these places, this matchup is the loser, or this matchup is for $100 for the third place, so the loser won't get money. So specifically for this tournament, not this tournament, but in this matchup here, any super close matches where to my naked eye it either appeared to be a draw or would be questionable by either blader, I called it a draw until there was a definite winner, as again, they are playing for money. Now at the tournament in Greensboro Sunday, so 2 days ago, there were some of these matchups, and it was very visible to me and other judges, or some of the other judges, that certain combos were stopping, getting hit, and starting up again. And there in the finals, there were a lot of players asking for multiple judges to look at replays, and that's okay. As a player, there are times where I do question some of the rulings. You kind of get hyped, like you don't want to lose, but yeah, I want to say that this happened a lot this Sunday. I'm sure when I post that video, there will be some players putting comments on the videos questioning some of the calls I made. But yeah, again, I stand by all the calls I make. If I make a mistake, you know, I say I make a mistake. That's all there is. Yeah. And something actually to announce here is I mentioned that players could switch modes, and a question came up with mode switching with the new DB Beyblades, as it's not in the rules. However, I have talked to the organized play team, and the mode switching is the exact same as the rules currently say. If you have to take a Beyblade apart to switch a mode, you are allowed to do that only one time for that match. So I did have to reiterate that, as some players were saying that mode changes weren't allowed since you had to take the DB Beyblades apart. However, that is not the case. You are allowed to change the mode one time. Now, a good question that did come up was with the new Astral and that attachment on Nexus, is that counted also in the mode switch? And that is a question I actually need to talk to the organized play team, as if you switch that mode, can you switch that into like low or high mode all in the same time? So yeah, again, you can see, like I said, there's a lot of draws, and I just want there to be a visible winner for both of these players. So there is no question here, especially with there being money on the line. And as you can see there, there's no question. He got KO'd there. So yeah, Hector asks for the switch. BDM chooses to keep his Dynamite, and Hector then decides to switch to his Dynamite combo. Now, that is a good switch, as this is on drift and it's on tapered, so you can't really get that really good angle that you can with Giga. Like with Giga, you can launch at a very steep angle and you can keep that you can stay in place and keep all that momentum. But with tapered, if you get hit, you're gonna rock on that tapered and start spinning around on that. So Zone Dash plus Z, I think, has more of an advantage when someone is using tapered drift. So yeah, you'll see here, Dynamite does get the win here. And BDM will ask for the switch here. Yeah, there were a lot of stamina matchups in this matchup here. So you can see that the drift combo is kind of scraping up or hitting up against the Belial's tapered. And so yeah, so on the switch, Hector chooses to stay with his Dynamite, so BDM chooses to go with his Vanish combo. So opposite spin never versus opposite spin tapered. Now, or sorry, opposite spin zone dash plus Z. So I would expect the zone dash plus Z combo to win here. However, it is Vanish Fafnir. It does have rubber, so that does help it, though the F gear has rubber on it as well. So this was a pretty interesting matchup. And Vanish does get the win here. So it is close, but it's not close enough for me to call a draw, as I definitely saw that Vanish won, and I do believe we go back to the replay and I show Hector as well. And that's one more thing. Anytime someone asks for, anytime there's something questionable, I do like to show the replays to both bladers. So yeah, you could definitely see that Vanish spun longer than the Dynamite combo. So Hector asked for the replay, which I probably would have done, honestly. Actually, I probably would have asked for the switch with the way the points are here. See what he switched to, and then chose my combos based on that. But it's kind of, it's 4-2, so he's definitely at the disadvantage. He has to make perfect, he has to make a perfect combo, and he has to get somehow win when he wins a point on the disadvantage of choosing. He has to win that as well. So when there's a gap like 4-2, it's very hard to come back. It is possible though. So here, Dynamite actually ends up winning this one. And I don't remember if it was close. Yeah, no, it wasn't close. Dynamite won that one. It definitely spun longer. So for this, BDM asks for the replay. If I was BDM, if I was in his place, I probably would have asked for the switch, just because I only need one more point to get that advantage. And yeah, Vanish didn't actually KO there. It hit the sidewall. So yeah, Vanish will win this, and BDM will actually win 3rd place. Yeah, this is a pretty again drawn out match, stamina matchup. And if I remember, it wasn't close, I believe. I actually don't remember. Let's see. Oh, yeah, sorry. It was a draw for the first one. And then Vanish. Yeah, Vanish wins, yeah. Yeah, this was, like I said, this was not the Sunday that just passed, but the last Sunday, and then we had a tournament this Sunday, 2 days ago, so, yeah. New battles are fresh in my mind. So yeah, it was raining at this event. Throughout the day it was raining, so his Beyblade did fall off into the rain. So I was just checking to make sure all of his parts were dry, and if there was a part that wasn't dry, I just had him wipe it off. And he did ask if there's any advantage to a Beyblade being wet. And yeah, I honestly don't know. Less friction on the driver maybe. Yeah, he just asked me that question. Yeah, Vanish wins this one. I honestly don't remember how. Ah, there we go, KO. That is a sucky way to lose, especially with events where there's money on the line. Yeah, so this matchup is between the 1st and 2nd seed. So again, Quiqui 23, 1st seed. Froztz was the 2nd seed. They are both using the exact same Beyblades they used previously. So Quiqui was using Royal Bahamut's Giga Drift with Armor 10, Cyclone, Ragnaruk, Tapered, Zone Dash Plus Z with Armor 2, and Tempest Solomon with that 1S and Ignition Dash. And Froztz was using Tempest Solomon with the Metal Chip Core, 1S Will Xtend Plus, Royal Bahamut with Giga Drift Armor 2, and World Spriggan 2B Orbit Metal. So this first matchup is Roar versus World. And I did play against Quiqui's Royal Bahamut Giga Drift in the first part of this tournament. I knew he was using it the entire tournament. So in that matchup, I decided to use my Roar Bahamut Giga Drift combo against his. The only difference is he was using Armor 10 and I was using Armor 2. The rest of the tournament, I was just using my Tempest combo. So in that matchup that I played him in, his Roar Bahamut Giga Drift barely outspun my combo, my Roar Bahamut Giga Drift on 2. So he did win that matchup, but each one he barely outspun me. So going into it, I was fairly certain that I would be able to outspin him with my Orbit Metal. As I've said, I've outspun other drifts with Orbit Metal. One thing that I am noticing is these Roar Bahamut Giga Drift combos do weigh a lot more than World Spriggan 2B Orbit Metal. So when they do hit and collide, the World combo does lose a lot more stamina. Whereas when it's two sparking Beyblades, it's fairly close in weight, so that the Orbit Metal can still outspin the other Beyblades. But with this new generation of Beyblades, it's just not looking too good for World Spriggan 2B or Orbit Metal. That said, this past tournament, I did try to use this again against some drift combos. I did beat one, I believe. Other than that, I didn't beat too many of them, and by drift combos I mean Roar on drift. And I did actually sort of find a combo to beat these Roar Bahamut Giga Drift combos. However, I didn't actually use the combo in the tournament. I waited until after the event to test it out. So yeah, keep a lookout for that combo. So yeah, this first matchup is again Roar versus World. And one mistake I made here is the launcher I'm using on my World combo is not the power launcher. So I really wanted to be using that power launcher to get a lot more speed behind this World combo. So yeah, I do get the first point, and Quiqui asks for a replay, which is, yeah, if I was confident in that combo, I too would have asked for a replay. As yeah, if he can't beat this combo with that combo, then he's really in a bad space with the remaining combos. So yeah, he gets the KO there, and I feel like I can still beat him, so I asked for the replay there. Or sorry, I asked for the switch, and I know he's going to stay, so yeah. So here, I messed up on my launch. I didn't launch it as aggressive, and so I end up kind of going to the center and staying there. So if you watch some of the other tournament footage where I launched my my World combo, I launch it aggressive, so it kind of does a weird flower pattern where it acts erratic with its movement. But for some reason with this launcher, it didn't want to do that. So yeah, he gets the point there. I asked for the switch. Obviously he's going to choose to stay, so I chose to try my Roar combo against his. And again, I used armor 2, not armor 10. And like I said, in the first part of the tournament, he was barely outspinning me, so I felt that I could still beat him with my Roar Bahamut Giga Drift version. And you see, I have a really good tilt on it and everything, but his drift is just better than my drift. There's nothing more to it. Now you can say that me hitting the wall, I lost a lot of stamina there, and yeah, it looks like it, but I'd say not that much, honestly. From what I've seen, and again, actually, Roar Bahamut hit the wall again. That's what I was saying. Every time I see a Roar Bahamut Giga Drift combo get hit hard, it hits the wall. It's weird. It's like it's a wall magnet. So yeah, I asked for the switch. Of course, he's going to save the same combo, so I'm going to try my Orbit Metal combo again, as my Tempest combo is not going to beat him. And again, horrible launch on my part. I went into a tornado stall. I really didn't want to do that, and I went to the center. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it's just these new DB launchers with this combo, but even recently, having tested it with my sparking launcher, I can get that combo to still flower pattern. These new launchers don't seem to make it want to flower pattern. So he gets that point there, and I tell him I'm going to switch my mode. Now, I should have asked him if he wants to replay or switch, but we both know that he's going to keep the same combo. And yeah, I figure I can't beat him at this point, so I just wanted to switch my mode, maybe get a KO. But again, you can see my combo is going to the center. Now, I do like to go to the center against, say, Vanish, Vanish on zone dash plus Z, because if I can hit it a little bit and then get in the center, it'll hit up against the 2B and waste its own stamina. So yeah, Quiqui ends up winning this event, and the top 3 places did get the $100. Something I actually forgot to mention is usually in tournaments when I'm hosting them and there's prizes, I don't actually take the prize unless there's a Beyblade that I don't have, and when that case comes, I let official Huddy pick which prize he wants to see if I get that Beyblade I don't have. Other than that, I usually don't take a prize, and in this case, I gave the money to Hector instead of taking it for myself. So yeah, let's talk about upcoming tournaments in the North Carolinas. So like I said, we just had an event 2 days ago on Sunday in Greensboro, hosted by 4 Gaming. Stay cool. That was a really good event. Now going forward on the WBO, there are tournaments posted called Road to State Clash. So in short, the Florida Beybladers have challenged the North Carolina Beybladers to a tournament of the top Beybladers. So the top 12 players in Florida and the top 12 players in North Carolina, they're going to get together and have a series of different events, 5 events, and whoever wins the most out of the 5 events will be declared the winner of the first state clash. And there are also, at the end of that kind of state clash event, there will be a switch tournament, which is invite only for the top 12 players. So the players on the teams will get to play against pretty high ranked players in a Swiss tournament. So that's going to be very, very competitive. Who knows, maybe we'll see a Arca versus Union Achilles matchup in the finals. I'm hoping it won't be the finals, as I personally intend to win that Swiss tournament. I'm sure Kamek, Caden, or Kamek, Caden, Union, I'm sure everybody on these teams plans on winning a tournament themselves. So yeah. Now speaking about the teams, there are going to be 3 tournaments leading up to this, and any other tournaments in between the time of the actual state clash will be used to help the players increase their Bay rank. So it's the top 12 in a state by Bay rank. So if you're in the Carolinas and you want to be on the Carolina team, be sure that you're going to tournaments and just playing players. You don't have to win the tournament. You do have to win matches if you want to improve your Bay rank. So yeah, that will be the end of this tournament analysis. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and a lot of other good stuff. Thanks.